One of these is running the FSR 2 mod on quality mode, and the other is running the standard Steam Deck settings with a bit of tweaking to get a bit more stable. So can you tell which one is which here? After playing on both of these for a bit of time, it's actually quite clear to me, and believe it or not, the one with the mod is the one on the left here. This becomes actually very obvious in some of these downtown areas, and as we freeze here, if you look at the tower on the left and the building quality on the right, as well as just the quality of the car itself, that FSR 2 mod actually makes quite a difference. Now there's a guide for installing the FSR 2 mod, as it's not the easiest one to install on the channel, which is also linked on the description below. But I just wanted to run through a bit more of the comparison here, even with the frames per second, and then also the best settings to run this. So both of these were using the same settings. I started off with the Steam Deck preset. I then turned off all of those chromatic aberration settings and motion blur, etc. at the top, and then changed the DLSS setting to quality and left the DLSS sharpness on 0.5. Now on the standard version, you don't get that quality setting for DLSS. It's the FSR 2 mod that enables that, and leave FSR off. So sticking with the FSR mode, we see that we do have slightly less frames per second, but we do get much greater quality when we're looking down in these sections, and we'll see that a little bit more as we switch between the two. So as we switch back to the standard version, we do have a little bit higher frames per second, but the quality is much blurrier, and we notice this not so much on the actual Steam Deck screen itself, but we do see a lot more pixelation and the quality just does not look as good. Again, this is more obvious as we look into the alleyway here. At the same time, just look at the quality of the character models and the floor and just the general environment on the FSR 2 mod version on the left here. It really is actually quite staggering. It wasn't as noticeable immediately until I put them side by side, but it's definitely a great quality boost. Again, if we go back to the standard version as we're jumping up here, we'll see that we do keep slightly higher frame rates in general, but we do lose that quality quite a lot. Again, looking at the character model here on the floor, as we switch back to the FSR 2 version, we see the quality differences quite clearly here. Now, depending on the size screen, it might not be as obvious, but you'll just notice that it just looks a little bit better. And once again, we don't have as higher frames per second, but it doesn't waver around as much on the FSR 2. So there is a little bit more tweaking that you'll need to do with the FSR 2 mod to get this super stable. You'll see that I've actually capped the frame limit on the Steam Deck, and that doesn't stabilize it too much. But we also need to tweak the VSync settings in game. If we actually change the VSync to 60 and the FPS max off in game and just cap it on the Steam Deck itself, now we see that frame time stabilize, super solid smooth 30 frames per second in game. We do get a little bit of wavering now and again, but that frame time barely moves around, and this gives a much better experience. So the FSR 2 mod on quality with this frame cap of the Steam Deck at 30 is the most stable that I can get you. I have tried the balanced and the performance modes, but they don't look anywhere near as good or give as good a performance bonus. So this is definitely the best way I've found to be playing Cyberpunk recently, so let us know in the comments below if you're going to be using the FSR 2 mod. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.